Who?
Gypsy Danny.
Oh, really? I'll be able to see in a second. I'll be able to see in a second here. And hear myself, apparently. How's everybody doing tonight? If you hear anybody in the background, that my husband is next to me. Hello, Black Metal, Nazgul, Danny, Autumn. I'm glad you guys are here. Can you go fall in the background? On your screen? No. Can anyone hear music in the background? It's on that screen. It's on the computer screen, but it's not on my phone screen. Can anybody see snow in their screen? And no. Woot woot. Love it. Victor Vega, hello. You're supposed to be seeing snow on your screen. Point of that. And I'm not seeing snow on my phone screen, but I can see it on my computer. Can you guys let me know if you know snow did? Hello, Angela. Here we go. Anybody see snow now? Seeing files. Hello, Billy Poppins. Yeah, unfortunately, there's not a way to share the screen without seeing that file share thing first. So sorry about that. Snow, yes. Do you guys hear any music? I have it really soft in the background. All right, so I think if you're on your phone, you just see lips. And if you are on a computer, you will see pine trees and snowfall. So I tried. Quiet, and I can't turn it up without changing your screen again, and I'm not going to do that to you guys. I've got some funny stuff for you guys that I found today. I went out of my way to find it for you. But, oh, you do see snow and you're on your phone? My phone must just be crappy. I'm looking at my husband's phone. He doesn't have any snow in his either. So, sorry who can't see snow, but I really did try. Lacey Thomas, hello. I had a breakdown and I'm glad you updated because it made me feel better. See snow. I'm on my phone. Huh. All right, well, I can hear the snow. I can hear the snow. Anyways, I found like a few stories that happen to people on Christmas. So I thought that would be appropriate themed. But then I found something funny to wrap it up. So I have my husband, Snow on my phone too. Okay, hello. And I think we're just gonna jump right in. These are 4 stories that happen to people. I'm gonna say they're all paranormal on Christmas. Are you guys ready? Can you handle it? Of course you can, or you wouldn't be here. I have my husband trying to keep track of comments when I'm reading so I don't get distracted. Haha. As you all know, I normally do between comments and reading. So I'm just going to go ahead and start. This first story is called The Bright Light and the Calm Watchdog. Visitor on Christmas Day, 2008. And I'm pretty sure it wasn't Santa Claus passing by my house in Bloomington, Indiana. The day started in typical fashion with the opening of gifts around the Christmas tree. I served an early Christmas dinner for family and friends, departed by 5 p.m., except my sister and brother-in-law who live with me, in a bedroom at the end of the hall with the door open. I went into my bedroom with my dog Toby. I was just dozing off when I heard the latch on my bedroom door open. I waited several seconds for my sister or brother-in-law to ask me whatever they came to say, but there was no other sound. It was almost 7 p.m. So I had left the lights on in the kitchen and on in the bathroom, and there were lots of Christmas lights on in the living room, so the hallway would have been well lit. I would be able to see whoever was at my door just lifting my head. I pushed the blankets down and lifted my head from the pillow, being able to see who was in the doorway. An extremely bright light hit me right in the eyes. I shielded my eyes and yelled, "Turn out that fucking light, you're blinding me." The light immediately disappeared, and I heard the door close. My bedside light is a touch lamp, so I tapped it on and looked around the bedroom. There was no one in the bedroom except myself and my dog. Toby jumped off the bed and went to the door without showing any signs of alarm. At first, I wasn't frightened because Toby's a Dutch Shepherd, excellent watchdog, and proven personal protection dog. Since Toby was already up, I decided to go let him outside and see what my sister and brother-in-law needed. I could see both of them, still in bed. I took Toby to the living room and let him outside. So who opened my bedroom door and turned the spotlight on my face? Like most people, the thoughts of loved ones are always close at hand during the holiday season. When I first went to lie down, how happy I was that my small family enjoyed such a pleasant Christmas, but it would have been so much better if my mother and brother were still there to share it with us. I would like to think that it was my brother's spirit stopping by to say Merry Christmas. I still think of you too. I haven't been able to debunk this strange event with a rational explanation. I'm half afraid that my heart stopped during my sleep, and the light I saw was a bright light people report after near-death experiences. A stairway to heaven, and ruined my chance at eternal paradise by saying, "Night." I've made a mental note. See another bright light to clean up my language, just in case. Creep Files, hello. Kitty baby. Kitty baby. That's how I say that, by the way. Creep Files. I'll check it out, Creep Files. You guys check out Creep Files too. We are reading I believe they're 4 paranormal stories that happen at Christmas time. If you're just joining us. So if you want to rewind and listen to that, you can. And we're moving on to number 2. This one is called The Returned Relative. It was Christmas time of 1995 or 96 at my aunt's house on a reservation in North Dakota. Sorry, I'm losing my voice a little bit. It's going in and out. I don't know if anybody else is going through that, but I'm going to stay focused and keep reading. So I'm so sorry. Some of my family was in the living room watching television. The kids were playing in the rooms or sleeping, and my aunt and uncle were sitting at the table putting a puzzle together. My cousin, who worked at a casino, would come home around midnight or 1 a.m. This night, as she pulled up and was walking toward the house, she looked in the window and saw me sitting at the table. My uncle sitting across from me, and someone standing to the left of me, and someone standing in the corner. Sorry, I took a drink there. Thank you. So she continued to walk into the house, thinking nothing of it. She looked at me and asked who was standing next to me a few minutes ago, and who was in the corner. I told her no one. And she said, "Yeah, there was someone standing next to you." It looked like your mom, and she was playing with your hair. I have really long hair, which I used to wear down all the time. She said this person was running her hand on my hair, like a mother does to a child. It kind of freaked me out because I was probably only 12 or 13 at that time. Up and down that someone was standing over me, rubbing my head, put the puzzle together with my aunt and uncle, and that there was another person standing behind that person. We got around to thinking it was probably her mom she saw. She passed away on her birthday week before Christmas in 1992. In my family, we consider our aunts and uncles to be just like our moms and dads. After thinking that it could have been her, it didn't seem to scare me so much. However, we couldn't figure out who the person was standing in the corner. And always around Christmas time, something strange happens. But we just chalk it up to loved ones visiting us. I miss anybody new here? If anybody's just joining us, we are doing 4 paranormal stories that happen at Christmas time. We're moving on to number 3 right now. We just wrapped up number 2. This one is titled The Haunted Tree. My parents and I live in a small home that was around 90 years old. The year would have been 1996. We lived there from the time I was 7 to the time I was 19. From the very day that we moved in, I felt that I was not alone. I was having a friend spend the night. The heat that had just shut off briefly, and she and the oh wait a minute, I'm sorry. The heat had just shut off briefly, and she and I were sitting in the living room watching television when the temperature dropped substantially. As I rose to turn up the heat, the Christmas tree violently. Ornaments were flying off right and left, and we were terrified. We ran upstairs, laid down on my bed. My cat curled up with us, and my door was open just a little bit. When I gazed out at the dark hallway, I was horrified when I saw a tall white figure run down the hall. I turned to my friend and she acknowledged that she had seen the exact same thing. She also never spent the night again. If anyone's just joining us, we are reading 4 paranormal stories that happen at Christmas time. And I just finished story number 3. On to number 4. If anyone's new here, thank you for coming. Thank you for coming. You should see some snowy ambiance on your screen if you're just joining us. If you're on your phone and you don't see it, I'm very sorry. Moving on. This one is called The Figure in the Recliner. My mother, to whom I was very close, passed away in 1964 when I was 17 years old. I left home that year and moved to Ontario from Nova Scotia. In 1969, I met a girl who I will call Karen, and we got married in March of 1970. In December of 1971, we were expecting our first child. We were living in a small 1.5-bedroom bungalow. There was a fireplace in the living room. My wife and I loved the fireplace, and we had it lit every night. It was Christmas Eve, 1971, and we had just finished putting the gifts under the tree, and a nice fire gave off a beautiful glow. On the tree, one string of lights, which was supposed to flash, had stopped several days before. It was 5 minutes to midnight when the fireplace suddenly just about went out, and the string of lights started to flash. The other lights stopped flashing. My wife and I were sitting on the floor, and it had become very chilly in the room. I looked over to my lazy boy, and a figure was sitting there. My mother, with a big, beautiful smile on her face. Who had never met my mother, said she could see the same thing. ghost never spoke a word, looking at me and my wife. At midnight, the fire in the fireplace started up again, and the lights on the tree stopped flashing, and the others started flashing again. I looked over in the chair and the ghost was gone. And no matter what I did to those Christmas lights, they never flashed again. If you're just joining us, we are reading paranormal events that happen on Christmas time. And actually, there's 5 of them. I thought there was 4 this whole time. So we're reading 4 paranormal events that happen on Christmas time. How's everybody doing? Just checking in, just checking in. Rude ass ghost. Brian Morrow says, rude ass ghost running through somebody's house. Yeah, that's weird, Schmeister. Wait, if she never met your mother but recognized her, something's up there. Creep Files says, could I join you during one of these readings one day? Does anyone here think that's a good idea? You know what, Creep Files? Every time that I've done a live stream with multiple, like more than one person, the live stream, I don't know if it's my computer or my internet, but it just, mine always cuts me out of it. That's why I haven't had anybody else on with me. And again, I don't know if it's my computer or my internet, because I used to do some live streams with like Mark Bot and other people, but every time I do that, my computer or my internet messes up every single time, and it just ruins it for me. So if I figure that bug out, then yeah, I would love to have more than one person and take turns reading. That would be great. But until then, I really can't do it, because it's kind of like a bummer for everybody that comes to listen to a live stream. I mean, if you can figure yours out, even if I go to someone else's live stream, it doesn't work. So I don't know why that is. I'm just glad that it's working right now. So you guys let me know if it cuts out at all. And let me know if you guys are still seeing the snow. I had some music playing in the background, but yeah. I could hear it while I was reading. It was a little bit distracting, that when I normally record. But there is one more. And we're going to get to some funny stuff after that if you guys want. Or I can find some more scary stuff. But Dan Martin, hello. Thank you for coming. Did I skip anybody? If I skipped you, please let me know right away. I have a lot of stories to share I need to submit. I almost died in October at the hospital. It was weird. Oh yes, I would love to hear that. I love hearing about everybody's stories. Let me finish this last one here, and then we will get into more discussion. This is number 5. I thought this entire time there were 4 stories. Apparently there were 5. I printed it out, and I had even looked it over, but I guess I missed one. This one is called The Ghostly Christmas Choir. On Christmas Eve night, 1978, at about 3 a.m. in Klamath Falls, Oregon, I was suddenly awakened by a choir singing. The house was new construction, miles from the nearest church. I strained to hear any words that I could understand or a tune that I could identify, but I could not understand the language or tune. I did get a feeling of angelic exaltation, reverence, and gladness of heart. This was truly a heavenly choir lifting their voices on high, singing Hosanna in the highest, in an unknown tongue, without accompaniment of instruments. I examined the television, but it was turned off, as was the radio. I explored the outside, but the singing was not heard outdoors. The way the countless male and female and children's voices entwined together, the tonals going from operatic highs to the deepest bass voices in perfect harmony. It must have lasted about 10 minutes, but it was touching for an eternity. Well, that one wasn't even scary. That one was just kind of cool. But if it's new construction, I'm gonna put a percentage guess on that possibly when someone was building the house, they stuck a toy in there and it was just going off comically. Oh, okay. I missed the bliznitch. My husband's telling me I missed the bliznitch. Hello. Or business. Is it biznitch or bliznitch? Why did I thought it said Bliznitch. Yes, I remember it. It's still on my channel. Yes, I do. Does anybody have any requests? Because I found some funny stuff for us today, unless you guys have some more I'd like to hear. That chair is noisy. Hello, Mr. Richards, REM. Like, oh, Dutch Dark there in the background. Schmeister. You guys want me to just, let me see if I can the screen I want to, because it's really, I don't know if anybody else is watching the snowfall thing. So I'm going to see if I can find more to share with you. Hold on a second. You hear this music? Tell me if you can hear this. You may need to turn it up more. Yeah, exactly. Just here to listen for a bit. You might want to rewind it because I already read 5 paranormal stories that happen at Christmas time, Phantom Zone. But welcome. Anonymous says, yeah, I said that. I said that person. Anonymous says, what squirrel? Yeah, everyone knows I get easily distracted. It's a joke here. Can you guys hear the music? Really? You still can't hear it? Wow. No music. All right, never mind. It's just distracting me, so I'm going to turn it off. You guys hear me, though, since I turned that volume all the way down? Get it together, lady. All right, let me just turn that off because it was super distracting. Let me see. I looked for funny stuff to share with you guys because I don't know about you guys, but I had a really fun time doing that last time. It was enjoyable, but I was going to read this. Biznich said, I lived in a Victorian era house. And if no one heard me, I'm starting to lose my voice a little bit, so I apologize for that. They used to have funeral services in the home back then. The spiral staircase had what they called a coffin niche, so they could carry the coffin down. Crazy haunted. Ooh, bet you have tons of stories. Oh, wow. No says, oh, wow, so I didn't know that you could read our stories. I have a tripped out UFO story that really happened to me and a group of others. Oh my gosh, I think everyone wants to hear that. Yeah. That's what people love. I love the mix of the creepypastas, the true crime, and the true stories. That's why I read all 3. But I know that most people have just a preference of one kind. But when I started out my channel, I was just reading creepypastas, and I still like the written stories like that. But everybody, including me, loves the true stories too. So yeah. You can just hear me. You can hear me loud and clear, though. Okay, that's good. Biznich said there was a dead porch, too, that didn't have any access to it besides a window that the bottom would open up so they could slide the coffin out to store in the winter. Yeah, because they didn't bury people in the winter a long time ago, I believe. There used to be a room for those in houses. There was a room where you would store family members that passed away over the winter because you couldn't bury them in the winter. 2 authors are publishing your story. Are you sure? You might want to get permission for me to read it then if they're publishing it. Kitty Baby says top notch. Wow, that's wild. Well, if they didn't, the older houses used to have a room in the basement, but I guess if they didn't have that room in the basement, they would have to do that because you'd have to store it in a box, but you'd have to store it outside because, well, I don't think it would start to be bad if you didn't. Mr. Richard says, I just dropped in to say hello. I need to go to bed now or work in the morning. Keep up the great work. Thank you for coming by, Mr. Richards. The business creepy. Creepy. Yeah, I meant business. Uh, oh, Dan Martin, that is intense. Does anybody want me to find more scary stories, or do you want me to go right to the funny? I'm fine with either way. I can do either one. My tablet hates me. My Kindle has not liked me either lately. I've found it easier to just come and use the computer, which I don't like because then I'm isolated from the rest of the house. Like that's why when you edit for audiobooks, it takes forever to do one chapter because you have to get it absolutely perfect. That chair is so annoying. It doesn't matter if I can hear it. It just like sounds like you're really uncomfortable. My husband's in the another computer chair to the side of me, and it's going because I can tell he's uncomfortable. Hells yeah, it was. Let me see. But when I have to edit for my point was when I have to edit for the audiobook, it's super duper lonely because it takes a long time and I have to like put headphones on so I can hear any imperfections. So it can get very lonely when you're doing that. Like music or anything, because you have to only listen to your own voice. Oh, no one prepares you for that, having to hear yourself. Okay. Um, Damn Gypsy Danny says, I like to think I believe in ghosts and stuff, but most of the time anything paranormal happens to me, I try to come up with a why it's not paranormal. That's a scientific aspect of it. Most people do want to have definitive proof, and so therefore if you debunk it, you know what I mean? I think it comes down to you just have to have peace with what you believe. That's it. Um, I've never heard you do funny. You've never heard me do funny? Oh my gosh. I have a few back from last winter. I have a few funny. You know what? I'm gonna try and find that and post it in the chat here, so you guys can look at it if you want to. I just had there's a what the heck was that website called? Do you remember what that was called? If anybody was like with me last winter, I was still relatively small. I'm still a relatively small channel. Um, but I think still only had a couple hundred subscribers, so I don't know who saw. Hello, Black Eyed Kid. Creep, your voice is very interesting. Working right now, delivery driving, whatever suits you. Creep Files used to hate the sound of my own voice. Yeah, that's one thing you don't think of when you go to start narrating or do anything, hearing your own voice back. It's really strange. It takes some getting used to. Interesting in a weird way. Dan Gypsy Danny says, my wife tends to think everything is paranormal. Like a kid listening to Duchess. Jerry Rholetter. Hello, everyone. Love the stories. That snow was relaxing. Love your funny stuff, too. Hello. Oh, yeah. I was looking for the squirrel. I was looking for the the comedy ones I did last winter. I think it's about 5 pages back if I go in my own creator studio here. I'm trying to remember the name of the website that we went to get these. Do you remember? Oh, it's called don'tevenreply.com. I'm gonna copy the link address so you guys can, if you want to, you can. Those were pretty funny. I did a couple of those. It is weird hearing your voice. Okay. Kitty Baby says, Dan Martin, what do you got to eat? I'm starving. If you guys can figure out a way to share food in the chat, you better let me know because that's some technology I need to get my hands on. Okay. I found this. I don't know if it's really that funny. I think I've tried to find a couple of funny things today. Just in case we ran out of scary or you guys wanted. Oh, yeah, I did find a couple. Yes. All right, I'm going to share this one with you guys first. Hold on a second. I'm really glad I figured out how to screen share. That's fun. These are 27 Christmas Tumblr posts that will make you laugh out loud. And if anybody gets on like Pinterest or Tumblr, if you go on Pinterest and you look up funny Tumblr, I can go down a rabbit hole and just laugh for hours on that. So, I mean, this first one isn't that funny. Perfect for killing my enemies with a little holiday flair. Taking the end of a candy cane and shaping it into a little point. Like that, those are really dangerous. It's like an icicle. Someone wrapped up their cat. Like literally the whole tail. That is a patient cat. I bet it's a book. That's what it said. I finished my Christmas list and I can't wait. $1,000 in cash. Boyfriend. The souls of those who have displeased me this year. Another boyfriend in case my other one escapes. Money. And then the parent says we need to talk. Okay, if anybody watched my Christmas traditions video from last year, this little monster thing was in that. This is Gryla, an Icelandic monster who ate bad children before Christmas. You better not shout, you better not cry, you better not pout, or Icelandic monster will fucking eat you. The mom doesn't even look panicked. She's just like, damn it, Jimmy, I told you. The lady in the background in the doorway there. Yeah, awesome. Santa. See, that one's not even funny. I went through this before to make sure. See this picture of this wall? There's something on the wall there. It says this. Holiday decoration. Nice. The festive is off the charts. Some of these are funny. This I thought was funny. Snoop Dogg's going to tell us the meaning of Christmas. 'Twas the nizzle before Christmizzle and out through the hizzle. Not a creature was stirring, not even a mizzle. For shizzle. All were awaiting Sizzle Claus in his bag to bring all the good homies and bitches their swag. Now that's entertaining Christmas special right there. Maybe he'll do it now that he has a game show. Oh, Duchess Dark put my channel on the screen. Huh? Okay. This says, my mom just bought our cat a Christmas stocking, even though we are Muslims and don't even celebrate Christmas. She was like, we don't know what religion the cat is. We can't force him to be Muslim. He's a cat. Oh, this girl photobombed her mom taking a Christmas tree, taking a picture of the Christmas tree with her phone, but she photobombed it with her own phone. She threw it and then it landed midair. This isn't that funny. Oh, it's December 1st. Snorts hot cocoa. I fucking love Christmas. Wraps Slater on naked body and runs around town. Christmas! I thought this one was funny. All I want for Christmas is dark gray eyeshadow, fingerless gloves, and a fluffy, oversized gray sweater. And boom, possum. I think this is just cool. That's like creative, off the charts. That took some time. And number one, I think it took some time to find 4 small Santa hats to stick on your head. Like, this is a good one. This is going to turn out good because we all know that dough works exactly as it should. But this is the funnier part. The snowman came out a little differently than expected. I wouldn't want to put anything up my nose like that. It's winter time anyways, and all I'm doing is trying to get the stuff off of me that keeps pouring out of my nose. Creep files, I figured that. That mohawk took a lot of time. I'm jealous. I've never figured out how to get my hair to do that. I know somebody said egg whites, but no way. I can't do that. Damn, Gypsy Danny says, I'm a night janitor at a retirement center. I can't read that. Listen to you, keep my mind busy. Is it at a retirement center? So is it super quiet in there? And are we on the same time zone? I'll check back for that answer. This one I found was hilarious. This couple makes a really creative Christmas card every year. Like really different, and they involve their kids, but they started out, like each year they did that one. And then there's Happy holidays from the Burgersons, 2014. Here they switched up themselves. Here they all gave themselves a unibrow. That one's not that funny, but this one was kind of funny. What does that look like? What does that band look like? Edward Scissorhands? No, The Cure. Yeah, that's The Cure. Hee-haw. Oh, that's it? Oh, no. I'm going to have to find something else funny. Or maybe something scary. Dun, dun, dun. I'm going to have to, like, stop screen sharing until I can find you something funny. Does anybody have any requests while we're here? Okay, I have to go have some philosophy homework. Have a good one. Thanks for coming, Creep Files. It's quiet until 3 a.m. and then the real story sets in. Bye, Angela. Bye. Thanks for coming. Bye. See you, creep. That sounds weird, but yeah. Shadow people? I know that I have tons saved for just a rainy day. I have tons and tons and tons saved in my backlog here. But I have to be careful to make sure it wasn't something I already read to you. Plus, I don't know how long my voice is gonna keep up with me here. So if it gets too rough. I know that we already did spirits like a while ago. Creepiest urban legends and ghost stories from Arizona. I think that was back in like at the summer. I was just trying to find. Just got here. What's going on? Orange Juice Simpson. Well, if you rewind, we did 5 paranormal stories that happened at Christmas time. And then we just went through some funny Christmas cards and Christmas fails. And now we are currently looking for a few more things to read. Did I ever read to you guys people describe their scariest family secrets? If anybody, don't push it just for us, but appreciate the love. That was from Biznich. Schmeister says, has anyone ever experimented to see what shadow people would react to high-powered light? I can't tell when you're being for real or... Okay, no one remembers this? 25 people describe their scariest family secrets. Let me just look at this first one really quickly, really quickie and see. They're super, super short, so it's not going to be like forever and ever. It just looks like... Okay, let me read the first one, and if it sounds familiar, stop me. This number 1 is foul play. So number 1, I just found out that my grandparents wanted more kids, but were having trouble getting pregnant for a second time. They adopted a toddler-aged brother and sister when my mother was 7. Soon after, this thing just jumped the screen on me. Soon after, my grandmother got pregnant, and the girl died from a mysterious fall down the stairs. The boy was quietly given to another family. They never ever spoke of either child from that day forward. I thought my mom was pulling my leg, but a quick search turned up the girl's death record. I was never close to that grandmother and can't help but think back to every weird aspect of that woman and all the strange relationships she had with her family. I feel like I've read these to you guys before. So if I have, let me know. Number 2 is basically 2 sentences, but I think that's all that you need when you hear what it is. Number 2 is called Who's Who. And it basically just says this. My older sister is actually my mother. My father was my mother's, actually grandmother's husband. They think. They don't think that I know. Ugh. You sure you haven't heard this, kitty baby? Because usually you come in for the live streams, so I think that you would know it. For sure, you would know it. Or Schmeister. I don't remember if you've come for these before, Schmeister. Usually you said you had to work. But, okay. Number 3 is called Wicked Mother. My mother abused me my whole life, and one day I finally couldn't take it anymore and told a teacher. CPS was called, and as soon as my mom realized what was going on, she raced to the police station and told them that an hour previously I had gone crazy and tried to kill my baby sister so that I looked like the crazy one, and nothing I said would be taken seriously. I was removed from the school in handcuffs and immediately taken to the county courthouse, where I had to face my mother in a trial. I chose not to testify because I knew it wouldn't help. But in the end, the judge realized that she was crazy and I wasn't. I had the choice between being put in a psychiatric hospital for teens or going home. So I chose the loony bin. 5 days later, my aunt came from another state and adopted me. My family doesn't talk about it, and to this day, my mother maintains that I was a horrible child and I was sent away for my own good, and that she is so happy I am better now. Ooh. Sounds super Bundy-ish, yeah. Number 4, a need for milk turns deadly. My great-grandfather hit his wife with a fire poker and slit her throat. He then proceeded to blow his head apart with a shotgun. He sat in a rocking chair and used his cane to push the trigger. All over an argument, whether it was too cold for me to walk to a grocery store to get milk. Wow. I guess love really does kill. Ew. Gina Powell, hello. Well, this sucks that my notification just now came in and reminded me of this 45 minutes late. Yeah, that is annoying. Especially I scheduled it on Sunday, and I've been telling everyone for days. So, yeah, I was kind of hoping that would give everybody a chance that doesn't normally get to come in to watch. So I let everybody know what time it would start because I knew that the notification wouldn't let you know. So, from now on, if I'm telling you guys, I'm gonna schedule them in advance and let you guys know. So don't rely on the notification because you'll never get the notification. YouTube doesn't like horror, and it's really doing that to most people that have live streams anyway. So, but you can rewind it; it'll still be up, and you're still here for the live stream, so that's good. Number 5, we read 4 paranormal stories at Christmas time. I'm sorry, it was 5. 5. Then I went through a few funny posts, and now we're to 25 people share their dark family secrets. And we're on number 5 right now. Number 5 is upholding the family name. We have a pedophile in the family, one who is also a misogynist, so he molests girls with the sole purpose of ruining their lives. He had abused all of my aunts and raped a 7-year-old girl who lived next door. I'm sorry, I did not know. So trigger warning, very sorry. Did not know I was going to do that. I know that upsets people when they don't know in advance, but I didn't know in advance because I just picked this and started reading it. So very sorry. Yeah. So the child who lived next door, and probably a lot of others that I don't know about, everyone kept it pretty quiet until his wife filed for divorce because he was cheating on her, and she used the molestation cases for her benefit. I love how the protection of children didn't come up until she decided to divorce him. Anyway, he has 3 sons who still don't know what their father is. He isn't even in jail because that would be bad for the family name because, we're all so proper and law-abiding. I keep trying to get my parents or other relatives to take action, but his wife refuses any suggestions of the sort. She also thinks that the other girls were asking for it. It gets me really pissed that these people are related to me. Oh, wow. That's just awful. Bernadette, hello. I'm glad you could come in. People here that wouldn't normally get to be here. So that was, yep, that's at the very beginning there, Gina. She probably pushed it at start, so I don't know if she's going to hear me say this until she gets to the end. So hi, Gina, if you hear me at the very end there. Bernadette, I'm glad you're here. We are on 25 people reveal their dark family secret. We started the video with 5 paranormal incidents or stories that happen at Christmas time. And we are on number 6 of the 25. This one is called Mistress Murder. My great-grandfather had a 17-year-old mistress he put up in an apartment. Great-grandmother found out, confronted them at said apartment, shoots and kills 17-year-old mistress. Great-grandfather serves time in prison for the murder. Wow. All right, number 7, the dream friend. I had an aunt who committed suicide when I was 3 and my older sister was 4. Her daughter had ran off and no one had any idea what happened to her mom. It was my older sister who told my mom that Aunt Pam was playing in the garage. Sure enough, they found her dead in her car. No one knew why my older sister knew this. And when asked about it, she said that her dream friend told her. My sister and I found out about this recently. My sister also used to talk to this dream friend who came to her in her first dream about a graveyard. Wow, that's weird. Hey, Logan, hello. If anybody's here and I didn't say hi to you, I'm really sorry. If you're not watching from the very beginning, Logan, go back. When people pop in, I'm not sure if they go back, like automatically rewind, or if they're listening to me live right now. So that's a little confusing. We are doing 25 people share their dark family secrets. We started the video out with 5 paranormal stories that happen at Christmas time. We are on number 8 of 25. This one is called The KKK Took My Uncle Away. A great uncle of mine passed away when I was a little boy. The family met at his house after the funeral to start packing things up and all, as he had no children, and his wife died many years before him. My great uncle was a highly respected member of his small town. He was a banker of some sort, deacon in the church, all of those things that made him a good person. Well, tucked away in the attic, not covered by any dust, mind you, was a large wooden trunk. Inside this trunk were the purple robes of a KKK Grand Dragon, various member listings, meeting notes, and all other sorts of things related to the KKK. Turns out that my great uncle was a very active, although very much secretive, member of the regional chapter of the KKK. Okay. Doesn't say how they took him away, though, but yikes. That's terrible. Autumn said McDonald's should have a third window where you can give them the wrong stuff they give you with the second. Number 9, Killer Uncle, Blackmailer Father. An uncle I've never met, my mom's brother, killed my mother's parents when he was 16 in a fit of rage and burnt down their home in an attempt to cover it up. I've never met him, as he's been in jail on a life sentence since before I was born. I was only informed of his existence because my dad was blackmailing my mom with this. Wow. What a beautiful love story that was. Wow. Okay, number 10, Cult Mother. I'm pretty sure my mother was in some sort of cult or something as a child. Parents forced her and raped her, I think. She would tell me these things, these pretty creepy stories of bodies being chopped up and thrown down a well. It's incredibly disturbing, and I really don't want to know what really happened. Wow. Trigger warning. I'm just going to say if you're listening to any of these right now, that's just a trigger warning pre-fact that I don't know what these are going to say. And twice now, something horrible has just popped up mid-read, so I apologize in advance to anyone that might be triggered by that. Okay, the last comment I see is from the Schmeister, and it says, "Da fuck." I don't see no other comments there. Let me see here if I can catch up. Squirrel again. Okay. Logan says, "I think I already brought up my uncle killed my aunt because she was sick and tired of taking care of her." Because he was sick and tired of carrying her? Oh my gosh. I think you did during the last live stream, Logan. You're right. All right, let's go back. We're on number 11 of 25. This one is at least a paragraph long here. Our legal system at work. Let me take a drink of water because my throat's about ready to. Excuse me. My grandmother must have preferred first-person shooters just like her grandson, since it took only one head shot to kill my grandfather. During the trial, her lawyer guaranteed that she would get off scot-free as long as she did one thing. Apparently, it was a known fact to a handful of lawyers that the judge connected with my grandmother's trial had an affinity for hookers. The lawyer claimed that the judge was known to make decisions in the defendant's favor when he was gifted a blonde one in particular. My grandmother followed her counsel's advice, and after the judge was satisfied, she walked out of the courtroom a free woman. I am one of the select few in our family who has any knowledge of the entire event that took place. I only found out about the whole thing because during one of my great-grandmother's rants, she complained about all the money that went to my grandmother, including buying that judge the sleaziest blonde hooker she could afford. I was able to pry the rest of the information out of her at one point. Wow. Good evening, Pooh Bear. Hello. Damn Gypsy Danny says, my great-grandmother married 3 men with the same first name, and they all had accidental deaths. It's kind of a family joke. A terrifying one. That's for sure. Pooh Bear, if you're just joining us, we're reading 25 people share their dark family secrets. We started the video out if you want to go back to the beginning when this is over. And I did 5 paranormal stories that happened at Christmas time, sprinkled in with a little funny, but we're on number 12 of 25. The Mummified Lover. In 1976, my father was in the military and traveled to Guatemala after an earthquake. During the cleanup, he was at the Mayan site of Mixco Viejo. I probably pronounced that wrong, and I'm sorry. There were several burial sites overturned. For some reason unknown to me, he brought the remains of a female Maya Indian. Oh, he brought them back. He claimed to have loved her in a past life. These remains are still in the box of our attic. They're mostly dust-covered now with part of the skull left. My father died in 1986, so I can't ask him about it. My mother and sisters claimed her ghost followed them wherever they moved until my dad died. I'm skeptical of that claim. I also have a half-brother in Puerto Rico who is in his 30s I will never meet. I only know his name is Ricky, and that my dad had a fling with a Puerto Rican woman while stationed there in the Army sometime in the 70s. Let's see here. That's moving material right there. Thank you for coming. Logan M. said she had liver cancer. He waited until she was asleep and shot her in the head with his shotgun. Oh my. Real stories about Krampus? I mean, I can find stories about Krampus, but not real ones. Do you want me to find stories for Krampus? Let me finish what I'm doing here. I don't know if my voice will hold up after this, but I can look for those. This is number 13, a rather spotted history. My uncle was kidnapped for 2 years when he was 15. He never spoke of it to this day. Also, my super uptight neocon evangelical Christian uncle who lives in Nebraska was actually a hippie stoner in the 60s, and his wife was a mail-order bride. Also, my aunt's college fiance was murdered by a hitchhiker. So that one wasn't very interesting, just a lot of facts. Number 14 is titled Crippling Mental Illness. My schizophrenic aunt has burned down her house and crucified her cats. That's disturbing. Poop bear? Did I say poop bear? Pooh bear. Number 15, love in the time of mental instability. My grandparents met at a mental hospital. My grandmother worked there and my grandfather was a patient. He was also married at the time, and since he never got a divorce, my grandparents were never legally married. Number 16, the heroic serial killer. My distant ancestor, great 8 times uncle, was a sociopath and a serial killer. His name was Tom Quick, and he was an Indian slayer who stalked the Delaware tribe. Ugh. I'll just keep to the story. No squirrels. He claimed to have killed 99 members of the tribe by the time he died, including an entire unarmed family with 2 young boys and an infant, which he beat to death with a rock. It's weird. These days, his monument in Pennsylvania had to be removed due to vandals, but when it was erected in 1889, he was considered a hero and defender of civilized settlers. Well, not to me, he wasn't, so if anybody has a problem with that, bye. Number 17, an axe-murdering uncle. My uncle is currently serving a lifetime prison sentence for murdering a prostitute with an axe. That's all the information the story gives. Like, some of these are so vague. I don't. Number 18, mysterious disappearance. My grandmother on my mom's side just kind of disappeared, and no one heard from her again. The story was that she fled back to her home country, which was Japan, leaving behind 2 daughters. Of course, alternate speculation exists. The only person with answers would have been my grandpa, but he didn't ever want to talk about it and took whatever he knew to the grave. Okay. And as always, I check the chat. Beside the dying fire, okay, we've got Dubco. What a dick. Hello. Beside the dying fire, saw you were live, so just pop in and say hello. Have a good evening. Thank you for coming. Business, no problem here. Part Mohawk and Blackfoot myself. Yeah. Okay. Number 19 is bad cure for depression. My throat, as I'm reading this, is getting more sore by the second. So when these are done, I'm gonna end the stream. I can just feel it burning. My grandmother jumped off a cliff and killed herself after receiving shock therapy to cure her depression. She was staying with us during winter when she went missing. They found her footprints in the snow that led up to the cliff. I found this out when I was 20 years old from my cousin who was 18 at the time. That's awful. Number 20, a sad turn of events. Some family from my dad's side was asking if he would take in one of my distant cousins because the cousin was turning out to be a problem child. Apparently, it's pretty common for that side of the family to send problem kids to other members of the family in an attempt to get them to shape up. My dad said no, because he didn't have that much money and was dealing with some serious health issues, like epilepsy in his heart. A few months later, the kid ended up robbing a store and murdering the owner of the store with a butcher knife. My dad felt guilty about it, and I don't think anyone in the family knows that the kid's mom had asked for my dad to watch him. I personally don't think sending a kid a state away would have changed him, but my dad always used to wonder out loud in a private. if he could have done something to help. Wow. And check here. Amen says, I have a true story of my grandma meeting the Night Stalker before he was caught. If he was, oh yeah, that sounds fantastic. Okay, wow. If you're just joining us, we were reading 25 People Share Their Dark Family Secrets. We're on number 21. If you go back to the beginning, we did 5 paranormal events that happened at Christmas time, and a few sprinkled in funny ones in between. So if you guys want to do that. It sounds like everybody has some interesting stories to tell, so sometimes I wish this were in a room, like an actual room where you could just pass the mic around and everybody could just tell their story. That would be a really cool thing to do. But can't do that, so until I can figure out a way to do that. Yeah. Number 21, past crimes. My uncle murdered 2 guys when he lived in Juarez, Mexico. He's an ex-drug dealer, and he was drunk. He was drunk when he slipped this out to my dad as I was eavesdropping. Ooh. Autumn says it's a great idea, Duchess. Victor Vega says time for this one to go. Bye, Victor. Number 22 is secret strange wealth. So I have no idea how my family gets its money. While growing up, I would ask my parents, usually my dad, how it worked, since my parents didn't work, to which they would respond that we get money from my grandmother. Whenever we would get low on cash, my mom would always be reluctant to ask for money from my grandma, and we kids complained about being low on money, thus not having much good food at home. My dad would tell us stuff like, we're never actually short on money. We actually have a lot, just not right now, or something in that direction. He also mentioned stuff about how when we kids are older, we'll all get money that my mom was supposed to inherit. Last year when my mom, my sister, and I were overseas staying with my grandparents over summer, I was able to find out that my mom had some stocks. I asked her how much they were worth, and she simply said she did not know, and that my grandmother handles all those things. Grandparents are currently paying for my brother's tuition, around $4,000 per semester. But I'm just guessing. And soon we'll be paying for my sister's, $12,000. I asked my brother about it, and he said it was through stocks and that he didn't understand it himself either and to just leave it alone. So that's probably the biggest secret we have, and I don't even know what it is. Well, it's not really that secret. If anybody knows that, stocks, you can sell stocks even though you pay a large portion of taxes on that when you do that, because back in the day, a lot of people invested in a lot of companies that were just starting out, and I'll just leave it at that. Some people are very well off because of that. I'm going to check the chat. Smeister said they're probably related to Queen Elizabeth or something. Leave me to work alone. Yeah, that does sound good, Logan. Bernadette says, what is the next stories you're going to be looking for? I have a few Christmas ones lined up, and somebody just requested Krampus, so for our next live stream, I'll try to find some Krampus stories for that. What? Veronica Keller? You just donated $10? Is that what that is? I'm in shock. Veronica Keller. Veronica, do you have a channel or anything that I need to promote? Because I will. Just tell me what it is. I will gladly share it. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to you. How do I pin that? I don't know how to pin that to anything. I've heard that you can pin that to like when somebody does that. Or does it just stay up there? Like, can everybody see that highlighted? That was really, really, really nice, Veronica. I don't know what to say. I don't ever expect you guys to do anything like that. I didn't even know you could really do that because it demonetized on my videos. just because I never made any money off it anyway, and it was just a hassle to deal with the YouTube stuff. And I kind of thought they'd stop messing with my videos if I demonetize them. Like I thought they would promote them, and they just don't. So it doesn't matter if you do anyway. That was just really, really nice, Veronica. And if I figure, I don't know where it goes though. I have no idea what they do because I know that one time Margbot donated $2, and I don't know. It just like went into this black hole in YouTube, and I don't know where it went. Anthony Radomski, thank you for coming. We're right now we are in 25 25 people share their dark family secrets. I can feel myself getting sick because I'm talking. But when we started out, we were reading 5 paranormal stories that started at Christmas time and sprinkled in some comedy in between. That was just really, really nice. Wow. Thanks. That's like a Christmas present I never, ever would have expected. Thank you so much. I don't know what to do. Now I'm so distracted. We're on number 23 of these 25. I'll come back and look at the chat again in a second. This is called Suspicious Stepmother, and it's like a sentence and a half. And it says, we're pretty convinced that my dad's wife had a hand in his death in order to take all his money. We can't prove it, though. Actually, that sounds like a member of my husband's family. That happened to that would have been what, my grandfather-in-law. He passed away before I met my husband. But when his wife has passed away, as most people do, they get lonely. And he met a lady who was, much younger than him. And shortly after that, they think, but they couldn't prove it, that she was over-medicating him to control his life. And she ended up putting him in a home and everything, and took control of his estate and everything. And they believe that she's the reason that he passed away. So, but things like that are kind of hard to tell. And they never heard from her again. Didn't they kick her out of the funeral? Oh, out of your cousin's funeral. Yeah. That's just awful. So I Anonymous, I don't know where it goes. If I figure it out, I will definitely let you guys know. I think it's just the day I went out this morning, Brian, in the wind, and it's finally snowed here, and the wind was really harsh. So we are on number 24. This one is called Holy Family is Wholly Delusional. My family thinks my dad is a priest of the Melchizedecian order. I know I probably did not pronounce that correctly. And it will change the way the world does church. My dad weighs 600 pounds and is in chronic pain. Is lucky to leave the couch more than once a month. And he's diabetic. He isn't even 50 years old yet and has already had a major pulmonary embolism. They don't tell anyone outside the family because they won't understand. Wow, that's messed up. Wow. Let me check the chat again. Lewis Fairney. Yeah, see, I don't know how they do that because I demonetized all my videos, Lewis, and I completely got rid of my AdSense account. So I really don't know how they do that. I don't know if they mail it or something. I don't have any idea. No. It says, if we can get what we want on media, the price is worth it for sure. How is you are Pooh Bear and the what now? Says this Meister. Okay. Number 25 is called Small Town Secret. I suppose this is a secret. We don't really talk about it. But my mom's boyfriend's dad murdered his wife by running over her with a car. It was a big deal at the time since we're from a small area. I don't know if that's that dark, that's messed up, but it's not like, dear God. I don't know. Checking the chat. We need some stories about Michigan. All I ever find is the dog man. Yeah, me too. That's why I haven't done any. I've seen a few about lighthouses. So I was thinking about doing something in like the late spring about lighthouses. Um, but there's really not a lot. Each like region has their own. Like Dogman is Michigan and Alabama is Bigfoot, correct? And then there's the Appalachian. There's like depending on the region you're at, and the gate is a different area too. Louis Farrington says I'm laying in my bed late at night listening to scary live YouTube streams. I have a bunch of other ones if you don't want to listen to live ones, Louis, because I get distracted when I'm live reading, like squirrels. Um, Autumn, I've got like a small stack of those adult coloring books, and like if I'm in the mood, I like just like stayed up until I finished a page and feel like I'm gonna go blind, and my eyes are all watering because I'm like into it. But I think it's gotta be like it's not all the time that I can sit there and do that because I'm really OCD about it. Like if one part of one flower is one color, then I have to do the whole page like that, and then I have to go back and do this. Orange Juice Simpson, it's 7 o'clock where I'm at. Yeah. Um, did it say 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time? When I was sharing it, I was trying to share that it said 7 Eastern Standard Time. So right here now it's 8 o'clock. So you would be an hour behind me. I'm on the East Coast. Well, not the coast. I wish I was on the coast. I'm in Michigan, so we're in just about an hour apart. So Bernadette says, "Are you still there, Duchess? I can't hear you." Oh, you can't hear me? What's going on? Huh? Oh, that my chat didn't reload. Mm. Oh yeah, the Whistler. Okay, yeah. The Capitol Theater in Flint, Michigan, renowned for. You know that they we just learned they redid the Capitol and reopened it, so I really want to go in there and check it out. Autumn says I have everyday doctor's orders for what now? Oh, you know, if anybody's stressed out and you like coloring anything at all ever, I do. I think that it really is a huge stress reliever because it makes you hyper focus on something else other than whatever's bothering you. This is a tip for somebody that's stressed out about something, just to try it out. It might work, it might not, but when you can hyper focus on something besides something that's bothering you, it really will distract your brain and get you in a different mind frame. Just a suggestion. Bernadette says, I still have some awesome stories from Hawaii and my family heritage. I would love to hear those. I'm obsessed. I have a low key obsession with Hawaii, but I always have. My husband thought this was funny, but I have very vivid, very realistic dreams. And I think I said this in a live stream before. Didn't you hear this one, Bernadette, about basically I was standing on a map of Hawaii and my parents had just gotten divorced in my dream. And they were both on different islands and they were making me choose which one to go to. And that was my only choice because otherwise, like, where I was living wasn't going to be available anymore. So I had to move to Hawaii and choose a parent as an adult. And it was stressing me out, which I didn't understand because I've always wanted to go to Hawaii and live in Hawaii. And like the dream kind of was like ruining Hawaii for me. Dan Martin says it's 8:11 here. You're in Texas. Yeah, we're just an hour apart. So it's Eastern Standard if you ever see anything. I did schedule this 2 days ago. So we can try this again next Tuesday or maybe I don't know. Are we doing anything next Monday? No? No, we don't have anything planned for next Monday? No? Okay, so anyways, we can do this next Tuesday at the same time if you guys want to, if this is a good time for everybody. Eastern Standard Time. And I'll make sure I put that in the caption. And you guys let me know, did you guys get notified? You're supposed to get notified in advance. And then you get notified when the person goes live. So you guys, will you let me know if you're getting notified or not? Because I really want to know. New York, it's 8 here too. Dan Martin says, yep, I hear you. Where I live in Michigan, there's some scary buildings. You must live in Flint. I'm about 20 minutes south of Flint. Logan M, does Illinois have a cryptid? I don't know. I'll look it up. I'm sure they do. Coloring is good. My guitar helps with stress, says Brian Morrow. I wish I could play. Me too. My husband has about 7 guitars, and I'll just pick one up and start strumming it, just sporadically. And even that, like if it's really quiet in the house, you just pick it up and pluck some strings. It can be really relaxing too. But I wish I could do it. Play Freebird. What's that one that they do in Wayne's World? Where he's like, read the sign, no stairway. You Duchess have crazy ass dreams. You don't even know. When I was reading the dream journal, I only read half of it. And I haven't even been writing my dreams down. Shame on me. I have some crazy, crazy dreams. Crazy dreams. What's the last one I woke up to? Do you remember the last one? It was funny, wasn't it? I don't know. This is why I have to write them down when I wake up because I can't remember. I guess my neighbors were trying to set their house on fire or something. That was my last dream. Because I usually, as soon as I wake up, if I don't write it down, I tell my husband. But I need to write it down and then tell my husband because tell my husband because I just start pouring it out because it doesn't make any sense, and it still doesn't make sense later. But it's funny. No, I didn't pick anyone, Bernadette. Never got notified until you started tonight. Okay. 30 minutes in advance. Enfield Horror in Illinois. Perfect time for me. Wayne's World. Oh, you're in Lansing. Okay. There's tons of like creepy places around Lansing, aren't there? Oh my gosh. Dan Martin, I'm in North Carolina. I love playing music. Veronica Keller says, Duchess, do you scare your husband the most, or is it the other way around? I received note. He said the other way. He did a circle like it's the other way around. See, here's the funny part. I look like the innocent cookie baking person, and he looks like the scary monster. But it's really the other way around because if anybody, like, say that somebody says something to our kids, I immediately, I'm like the, what am I like? I'm when it comes to people that I care about, I think later and react immediately because I'm very protective of people that I care about. He says I react so he doesn't punch him in the face and go to jail. But I just feel like my verbal lashing usually doesn't require anything more than that because sometimes as I've gotten older, I've learned to stop myself from keep going because I can go and get personal and just cut that person down to the quick. But now I've just realized to say what needs to be said and then end it there. Thank goodness for that. Because sometimes something that you say can't, people can't forget it, no matter if you mean it or not. So I'm not one of those people that says things that I don't mean in the moment of anger. I'll say everything that I mean, but then I'll go too far. Do you know what I mean? Burnett said that would be great. Burnett said, I don't get any notifications for your live stream. Make sure you click the bell. Please click the bell. And then after you click that little bell, will you let me know if you get notified? I know that some people have been telling other channels or showing them that number one, they get unsubscribed, and number two, that their videos aren't showing up in their subscription feed. So I'd also like to know that. The house I own is 101 years old. Dang, that's really cool. How old's our house? 56 years old? 70. Wait. What? Our house is about 6 years old. Nice crib. Click the bell. Yeah, click the bell to make sure that you get notified. So let's try to do this again next week at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, just to make that clear. I'll make sure I put that in big letters in the thing too, just because I know that can be confusing. I always forget because most of the people, like I talked Mother Creepypasta and Margbot. They're both on the West Coast. And I forget all the time. By the time I've had coffee and I'm like starting my day, they aren't even awake yet. And I always forget that. Oh my goodness. Never can take back words. Yeah, that's true. Did anybody see the viral video of the boy that was getting bullied? And there's like controversy over the mom posting it. Um, he was having kids pouring milk on him at lunchtime, and his mom filled him when he got in the car that day. Anthony Radomski. Yeah, he seems to be, doesn't he? Love you. Phantom says, I'll try it. It's my dinner time. 7 p.m. is your dinner time? Do you have someone serving you a dinner at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time only? I mean, I don't know about you, but a lot of times, sometimes, not always, but I have the ability to eat and listen to things at the same time. But I don't want to push it. I'm just kidding. Yeah, I want to do this again. I don't want to wake up till noon. I'm an hour behind you. So it's only 7 o'clock there, so it's only 6. So at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, someone is serving you dinner, Phantom Zone. Helicopter mom. No, I'm actually not a helicopter mom. I'm actually someone who trusts them to make good decisions and lets them make decisions for themselves and hopes that they do. You can only teach them so much. You can't hover over them because at some point they have to be out in reality on their own. And when you helicopter your children and then they're out in the world on their own, they don't know how to adult on their own. That's not to say that I know that I'm doing anything right, because I'm not going to say that. I'm never going to make that claim. I'll say, I've said this before during a live stream. I say it all the time. And I know that people word it differently all the time. But basically, I think is it Lao Tzu says, a truly wise man realizes he has much to learn. So whenever you are around someone who thinks they know it all, you already have an upper hand over that person, because no one knows it all. No one's an expert at anything. There's some people that have experienced more things in one area, but that doesn't mean they're any better than anybody else. Scary fairy godmother. No, thank you for reminding me. I'm always looking for new people to read or to listen to. But I have like a backlog of other people that I regularly listen to that I'm way behind. But I'm going to make it a point to listen to that, Bernadette. Anthony says, I'm the same with my kids. I need to back off. If you're going to helicopter your kids anything, teach your kids how to act on a date with another person, how to balance a checkbook, what they're going to need to know if they want to buy a house, and help them develop a skill for a passion that they like, so that if they feel like they don't want to or need to go to college for something, they can phase into a career for something. That's my only advice. That's all I'm going to give, because even that's like hit or miss. As we've all might have learned the hard way, that a college education doesn't get you a job. So if your kid has really good skill at something, help them develop that. Definitely. Brian says, I'm glad my kids didn't come with remote controls, because I would have completely screwed that up. I would have lost the controls. I definitely would have been out of batteries all the time. Me, personally. That's why I got married, so she can do all the adulting. Oh, I know you're joking. Autumn, I always nurture what my kids love to do. That's a smart thing. Okay, Phantom Soul says, in other words, your 7 p.m. Eastern is my 6 p.m. Central. Yes. Thank you. So yes. So here it is 8:24. So we'll do time zone math. So we'll deduce whatever time zone you're in. So if you are on the West Coast, that would start at 4. If you're in the UK, it would start at midnight. I'm just guessing. This is a, yep. So unless anybody has any more questions, I think we're going to wrap it up because I'm just about out of a voice completely and I have to go to a meeting tomorrow morning that I'm very excited about. And I don't want to say too much about it, get too excited, and then jinx myself. So if it turns out to be something good, then I'll share it with you guys. But I don't want to. I don't want to jinx myself. Yeah, midnight. Oh, Schmeister, you're in the UK? I don't know why. I just thought Schmeister was an American just because the smart aleckness that came along with a lot of your commentary. Biznich, thanks for staying as long as you did. Go rest your voice. So happy I made this one. I'm glad you did too. Well, the Fitzgerald song. Is this a spooky story behind it? Thanks, Meister. I'm okay. Yeah, I'm gonna wrap it up and say goodnight. And I'm really glad that you guys got to come. Yeah, Creeperoni's a friend of mine. She's really sweet. I'm supposed to have like a collaboration on her channel pretty soon. I don't. It took me a long time to send her the audio, but I've gotta Okay, yeah, you are in the okay. Take care of your phone. Okay, I want to thank you guys all for coming, and I don't want to lose my voice totally because then it will take forever to come back. So I'm going to say thank you so much for coming, and let's do this again next Tuesday if this is a good time for you. If it's not, please let me know. Make sure you let me know if you get notified. Please tap the bell and let me know if you get notified. But know that we're going to make this a regular thing next Tuesday also. So I hope you guys come and join me for that. Uh-oh. Okay. I'm going to say goodnight now before my voice is totally gone. And oh, and in case you guys don't know, the smart alecky ending is something we do in our household that most people that are regulars here know. No one leaves this house without us saying love you and goodbye, but we do it in a sarcastic way, like a mean girl. So, love you. Bye.